with a beautiful woman whose brother is a seemingly vicious rival of his. Um, he also has a twin brother, also played by Lakeith Stanfield, who basically went off and became an apostle of Jesus Christ. It's Jerusalem in 33 A.D. and yeah, and left him and his mother and their mother destitute, struggling to make his way in the world, and very much not a believer of this guy named Jesus. Clarence decides that he is going to go off and pretend to be the Messiah using the tricks he believed Jesus is using. It backfires spectacularly, leading to a very unlikely adventure through the biblical times that may or may not lead to, let's just put it this way, the death and return of Jesus himself. And there will be a lot of genuine emotion and a lot of offbeat, kind of irreverent laughs along the way. Yeah, let the adventure begin. So, the Book of Clarence is going to ruffle feathers. By its very nature, it is going to ruffle feathers. First off, there are many people who believe that Jesus was a white guy. Also, there's a satirical element involving the depiction of Jesus as a white guy that includes a cameo, which I would not dare spoil, because even though it's one of the cast names on the poster, which I think is a bummer, but I wouldn't dare spoil it. It's a nice reveal when it happens. It actually reminded me a little bit of Johnny Depp's reveal in 21 Jump Street. That's what it reminded me a lot of. It was a genuine surprise. Also, it's going to ruffle feathers. It will, because it depicts a person of color as Jesus. Has an irreverent sense of humor running through it. It is very pro-gay. It is very much depicting Roman soldiers as modern police officers today in their treatment of black people. And there are going to be people, and also it is a movie that dares to fictionalize the evangelical depictions of Jesus and satirize them. And there are going to be people who are going to be bothered by this. And they can live with it, because I'm not one of those people. And I love the Book of Clarence. Yeah, the first movie out the gate is really good. Really, really, really good. And The Harder They Fall was no fluke. I love the Book of Clarence. I thought this was a delight from beginning to end. It's extremely entertaining. It's funny. It's, again, irreverent and satirical. And I have to break to people, Jesus wasn't a white guy. What? Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Chuds are going to hate this movie. But seriously, this is a great story. It's just a great story. And for once, there is a movie with Jesus as a character that actually seems to be made by people who understand Jesus Christ, who understand what he's actually stands for, not what organized evangelical nonsense depicts as their version of what Jesus is. Jesus welcomes everybody. Jesus loves everybody. And he's not a white guy. It's okay. You can have those depictions in movies. And I think the key here is the fact that James Samuel, as far as I know, is not a pastor. He is a filmmaker. Musician as well as a filmmaker. He also does a lot of the songs on the film soundtrack, producing them and performing some of them. The soundtrack's great. Really adds a fun angle. This is sort of like, imagine if the Ten Commandments and Django Unchained had a baby. That's basically this movie. That is very much this movie. And it's PG-13, which I honestly don't know how. Some of the biblical violence in this are pretty brutal. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you kind of push right on the edges of the amount of gore you can have in a PG-13 with this. I love Samuel's style here. There's certain touches he does in the filmmaking. For instance, having the credits of the film be depicted in a similar fashion to those old widescreen epics like Ten Commandments and Ben-Hur. Really like that element. A couple of scenes. There's one scene in particular involving the Last Supper, where it basically gives this sort of interesting take on how they were all positioned and the way they were in the painting. All that stuff is great. If there's a minor flaw I'll have with Book of Clarence is this. Sometimes the shift from offbeat humor to serious drama about faith isn't always the most tonally consistent all the time perfectly. There are some moments that cancel the other moments out a little bit. Also, and this is a big problem I had with The Harder They Fall too, it is maybe just a smidge too long. It's not that it's paced well, so it doesn't feel that long. But it is maybe about 15 minutes too long. That being said, and it also ends kind of abruptly. I mean, I get what they were going for, but yeah, it was a little abrupt. That being said, I love this movie. I really love this movie. This is an early contender, the first out the gate contender for the best of 2024. Yeah, I love the Book of Clarence, and there are going to be people who are not going to like it. You could tell my audience, which was relatively small, considering it was a Wednesday night. There weren't a lot of people there to begin with. They were not having it. There was maybe like 2 other people who laughed when I did. Like, there were a lot of people who left that theater feeling kind of angry. So it might not be the one that general audiences will like. That's fine. It is not mainstream. And in fact, I'm kind of happy that a studio, this is a TriStar and Legendary, put this out. I'm glad that studios of their caliber are putting out movies that have a budget and a cast to them. Like I didn't even mention it, like R.J. Seidler, David Oyelowo, Tiana Taylor, terrific in one of my favorite films of the year just past, 1001, as Mary Magdalene, no less. Omar Sy. And so people who are like really legitimately big names and would draw big budgets, making movies that rock the boat this much, which is probably why they dumped it in January. I wish they wouldn't do that, but I love this movie. I think this movie's fantastic. It's first out the gate of the new year, and it's a terrific film. And it may not be for everyone, but it was certainly for me. And I'm going to give the Book of Clarence, yeah, you see it. Bang. 5 out of 5 stars. Closer to a 5-star plus, honestly. Actually, I'm just going to do it. 5 stars plus. This is a great movie. I can't wait to watch this again. I will see this again easily. If someone wants to see it, I will go. I genuinely love this movie. Yeah. I cannot wait to see what James Samuel does next as a director. Yeah, so 5 out of 5 stars plus for the Book of Clarence. It opens wide on January 12th. Be on the lookout for it. I believe it is a wide release. So yeah, go see it. Absolutely go see it. All right. That being said, trailer trash. Let's talk some trailer trash. Well, this isn't a title that's going to get me immediately demonetized by the algorithm. The American Society of Magical Negroes. This is the name of the film. And yes, in the trailer they acknowledge that the title is out of date and there's a narrative purpose. It looks really good. David Alan Grier is in it. You got, who's that guy's name? The dude from Detective Pikachu. And a bunch of other stuff. What's that guy's name? He was also in Dungeons and Dragons. Fuck, what was that kid's name? That guy. Yeah, from Dungeons and Dragons, Detective Pikachu, Jurassic World 2. Justice Smith. Yeah, and the guy from the other 2 is also in it. And it looks like it's basically a spoof of, it's a satire of the trope in movies of the magical black person who comes into the white guy's life and is only there to like be magical and push him forward in the plot. And it's about this guy who it's actually like almost like a Monsters Inc-esque society where they're sending these people off. But then this guy wants the girl that the white guy wants, and is going to upend the whole system. Looks really charming and really funny. Very, very, very original. Looks a little bit like that movie, The Baxter. If you guys haven't seen The Baxter, that was a really underrated comedy where about the guy in romantic comedies who is always jilted at the altar at the beginning, and him trying to like break out of that character. Yeah, looks a lot like that. Anyway, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Talked about it, looks good. Origin. Talked about it, looks good. Mean Girls. Talked about it, looks good. We are seeing it on Wednesday at a slightly early screening. Next Wednesday, a week from today. And then Madam Web. Talked about it, looks good. And was there shawarma? No, there was not. But the credits are done in the old biblical style, which I dig. That was in also the opening credits. Yeah, love this movie. Love this movie. So anyway, yeah, that's it. We will be back tomorrow for Night Swim. It's the January horror movie of the first week, as I always say. Maybe it'll be a pleasant surprise. Maybe it'll be like Megan, or Mithrigan, as I call it, from this time last year. I hope so. That's a good cast. That's a really good cast. The trailers looked really stupid, but just get out of the fucking pool. The first time there are ghoulies in the bottom of the pool trying to grab you, just get out of the pool. Don't go back in the pool at night. Anyway, ooh, spooky pool. How many 12-year-olds do you think are going to be at my screening tonight? Or tomorrow night? Yeah, probably a lot of them. Anyway, and then no review Friday. We have a Friday off, but then Saturday we will have another early review. By golly, we'll have another review Saturday night for The Beekeeper, starring Jason Statham. I'm seeing it. There's an early IMAX screening Saturday night, so I'm going to go. And barring an embargo, we'll have a review. And then also, we will have coming up Good Grief, the film directed by Dan Levy, this weekend as well. Monday, we have another AMC Screen Unseen. If I'm going to guess based on the info I got, it's probably Origin. So we will talk about whatever it is Monday. And then Wednesday's Mean Girls. We also have coming up Self-Reliance and another movie. I can't think of it right off the top of my... Oh, Lift with Kevin Hart. And then we'll also, before I head out, we will have a review of a movie I saw a year ago. It's not coming out now. It's taken a year to come out from when I saw it at Sundance. But we'll finally have a review of one of my favorite films from Sundance that just missed being on my list this year because it didn't technically come out, but it is qualifying for my list this year. Sometimes I Think About Dying. So I'll have a review of that a couple weeks ahead of its limited release. And then after that, we are live from Utah, where I will be at the Sundance Film Festival. So really excited, really pumped. Can't wait. And yeah, that's all coming up. And that'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all. I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Love you all, class dismissed. I love you 3,000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does. That's what you're supposed to do. Or so I've been told. Leave a comment, even if it's Hey Grant, I like waffles. It really helps out. If you want to find me elsewhere, reviews, listen, and fun stuff, you can check me out on Letterboxd.com at Raised on Popcorn with Grant. Twitter, I'm at Raised Grant. You can find me on Facebook, Raised on Popcorn with Grant. Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Raised on Popcorn with Grant. Serialized, all one word, a lowercase, Raised on Popcorn. Blue Sky, social, Raised on Popcorn. Check out my podcast, Raised on Popcorn with Grant, the podcast, on Spotify and Anchor. Some of you already have, but even if you haven't, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important, and I want to know down below, what did you think of the Book of Clarence? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below, let me know. And until we meet again, we were all raised on popcorn. Make my mouth extra better. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone. See you around. Bye.